Let's talk about this headline, shall we? Yes, it is repulsive for so many reasons. But for once, instead of talking about this guy, we're going to talk about this guy. Anybody remember this casual remark?
In Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable to...
During Dumpy's first term, Jared was in charge of peace in the Middle East, and he was credited with brokering something called the Abraham Accords. And while Dumpy and JK tout this initiative as a means to provide prosperity and peace for all throughout the region, the Abraham Accord is currently being sued by American oversight and investigated by the Senate. Don't worry, I brought the receipts. One of the reasons that the Abraham Accords is being investigated by the Senate is because of Jared Kushner's post-administration interactions with Saudi Arabia. So now let's talk about the $2 billion that Jared received from the Saudis back in 2022. Point of order. This $2 billion bribe was taken 4 years after the brutal murder of Jamal Khashoggi, a Washington Post reporter who was critical of the Saudi government. Our CIA has concluded that the Saudis are responsible for his murder. Let's just think about the fact that the son-in-law of a former and sitting president took $2 billion from a foreign government which brutally murdered one of our own, and there has been nothing to show for it in 3 years. Now we're going to talk about the relationship of JK and Bibi Netanyahu. Would you say it's a conflict of interest if the cabinet member in charge of the peace among several countries has a close family relationship with the leader of one of those countries? JK's daddy, Charles, has been besties with Bibi since the 90s. Back in 2004, Charlie pled guilty to 18 federal counts, including bribery and tax evasion. While under investigation, Charlie found out that his brother-in-law was working with the feds, so he arranged for a hooker to seduce him in a hotel room and installed video cameras. He recorded the entire encounter and mailed a copy of that videotape to his own sister. Before he left the White House kicking and screaming, Dumpy granted Charles a pardon. And in his new cabinet, Dumpy appointed Charles to be the U.S. ambassador to France. But let us not forget who we're here to talk about. After all, it is because of him that Dumpy and Bibi have such a close relationship. These two were so hard at work on their plan that Dumpy violated the Logan Act and brought Bibi down to Mar-a-Lago to conspire. Remember when Dumpy said that Biden should let Bibi finish the job?
Wants to keep going as Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian.
Why would Dumpy be so fixated on finishing the job? Wait a second. It couldn't possibly be that if Dumpy helps Bibi conquer Palestine, that Bibi will let Dumpy and favorite son-in-law build a shitty Trump property right on the water. Or could it? So when justice finally catches up with this criminal empire, and it will, let us not forget about Dumpy's favorite son-in-law.